Imagine it's a crisp autumn day. You've made it to your favorite local coffee shop and the room smells like cinnamon. You put on your headphones and what's playing? Charmed by Clairo. Welcome back to 3 Piece 1 Pod. Today we're talking about one of our favorite artists, Clairo. She recently came out with her 3rd studio album, Charm, and we have been truly charmed by it. If you would like to support us, check out our Ko-Fi, and if you have any video suggestions, you can fill out this Google form. Let's go slow dance and enjoy the rest of the video.
This is actually an Alec Benjamin video.
The secret artist. But Alec Benjamin aside, today we're talking about a completely different artist.
No!
So Clairo, real name Claire Cottrell, started posting her music online when she was 13. And
13?
Yep. So she would mainly post things like SoundCloud and Bandcamp and also YouTube. And YouTube is where obviously she got her start because in 2017 she posted Pretty Girl, which blew up on YouTube.
2017?
Yep. And that's where everyone knows her from.
Old. Literally not at all, but
we were pretty young when that movie or song came out. She signed to the label Fader shortly after, and she currently has 3 albums out. After Pretty Girl blew up, she came out with Diary 001, which was her first EP in 2018, and that featured songs like Flaming Hot Cheetos and Forever, and then also Pretty Girl. So a lot of people, I feel like now, especially if they don't really follow her music, would just recognize this era. It's more like the bedroom pop, made in garage band type of sound. And then her debut album, Immunity, came out in 2019, and this one also has a lot of very popular songs off of it, like Sophia and Bags. Both of those did very well. This album did very well when it came out. And sophomore album Sling, which came out in 2021. This album didn't do as well as Immunity, but in my opinion it is extremely underrated. I think that every woman should listen to this album because I've mentioned it before. It's very, very good, and it definitely shows a progression in her musical ability and artistry, and just a maturing of that, and showing off how she's a very good lyricist and instrumentalist. She knows piano and clarinet and guitar. Clarinet. But yeah, I think every woman should listen to this album. It has themes of domesticity and motherhood, and a song like Reaper is literally about fearing that you're going to put your problems and project your problems onto your child. But it is definitely a departure from Immunity. It has more of a folk acoustic singer-songwriter sound, which I think worked perfectly for me because when I really started listening to her music when this song or this album came out, and that's one of my favorite genres ever is folk and singer-songwriter.
She's singer-songwriter.
So right of you dancing in my realm.
Wait, we take a moment for the vocals because that actually. Wait, let's take a moment at minute 2:31 to talk about their vocal.
Sling, a song you may have heard off of it, is Amoeba. That song was really popular on TikTok, and just probably honestly the most popular off the whole album. And most recently, her album Charm came out July 12th. 2024, and another example of her just getting better as an artist, honing in on her sound and trying out new things. I love that Immunity, Sling, and Charm all sound very different. In my opinion, Charm is very much a combination of elements from Sling and Immunity that she's just learned and taken from and made into her own. So
it's a Charm summer. Who's not being a brat summer? And we're going into Charm summer.
Another fun fact: she's in a band called Shelly with her friends. Although they've only released 2 singles, Natural and Steam in 2021 or 2020. I don't know. But I don't know. They've been kind of active recently on Instagram, so I'm kind of hoping for maybe a comeback. And I'm still thinking about how in one of the interviews Clairo was talking about how she wrote all these songs and she put them into Shelly because she was not gonna use them for Sling. So another fun fact: she often hosts radio shows on NTS under the name DJ Baby Benz, which is definitely a more niche fact about her. I definitely recommend tuning into some of her shows. She normally posts them on
really good
Instagram, and then I think on SoundCloud and Spotify she'll make a playlist, or it's just re-uploaded the whole show, and I definitely recommend. You're getting a little bit of everything, and it's a very easy listen to. And also she normally asks fans for little memos to send in, so you could be featured on the show.
When are you gonna do that?
I know. I should. Maybe the next one. Before we talk about her new album, specifically in Liza's part, I wanted to mention that we went through an absolute Clairo drought, as Twitter has been saying, from 2021 to 2024, because there were only a couple of collabs and demos posted throughout that whole time. So After Midnight by Phoenix, she was featured on that song. I personally really, really like that feature. And obviously Glue Song with Biba Doobie was also iconic. And known so
I actually
much.
I love that collab.
And it's just it's so perfect, and it's such like a callback because she opened they toured together. Biba Doobie opened for her. I think it was her Immunity tour. And she also did a cover of Solo under the name Cynthia on Spotify.
That was, I actually really like that one.
And I really like that one.
That one's super like lo-fi, like in terms of
I guess you could say it's more chill if you want to
be more
chill. Only we would fit that in. Completely unrelated video. She also has 2 demos for Now and Lavender on Bandcamp. I definitely recommend listening to her entire discography, and especially Charm, because you will hear how great I think it is. That's great. I did want to mention for my drawing, in case anyone was curious. We actually like hated it. I think it's like so ugly.
Everyone has been closing their eyes, holding
so
their
ugly.
breath.
I referenced her photo shoot with Marc Jacobs' Heaven, because when these photos dropped, they were just iconic, and I was gonna draw them and I just didn't, and I thought, this is perfect.
So now you did.
So now I did. Yay!
No.
Let's bring the action.
Bring in the club.
The internet. Charm. That's how you pronounce it, right? Charm.
Yeah. It's like a niche word. Like, it's made up.
It's an indie word, charm. Was produced, I don't know how to say this name.
Leon Michaels.
It's actually a very easy name.
I mean, to be fair, his last name is spelled a little different.
Michelle's. Yeah. Charm by Leon Michelle's. Who also, I love Nora Jones, and he produced for her and Sharon Jones. I assume maybe someone related to her, or maybe just a coincidence. And the Dap Kings and Liam Bailey.
I would say I did not know that he produced for her either. And I've heard her music plenty of times.
Genres, technically soft rock, jazz, psychedelic folk, which
Wiki surely didn't listen to the album because
I have no idea what that means.
To be fair, I feel like for some reason that's a word that's put on a lot of 70s music, even though it's not.
Yeah, I think that's
obviously
probably
has the inspiration, but I still don't think that is a good way to put it.
Strawberry fields.
Yeah, see, to me that's
psychedelic.
Because you have like the whatever. That's like
it's more like ambient kind of. Yeah. I mean, this album obviously has moments of like
and soul,
but
the album was recorded in Alair Studios in upstate New York. Live on analog tape, which
that was one of my favorite things about this album. Like basically like every take is like, this is it, we're gonna you can't just like rely on production to make it sound good, or like fix certain things, which obviously that is a very respectful way of recording, but there's just something so special about recording analog, especially like nowadays, which I think is what really helps the sound feel so it gives it like the nostalgic feel. The Beach Boys and Harry Nilsson, especially emphasis on Harry Nilsson, was one of her main inspirations. She specifically mentioned like his what's it called, The Point, and the Popeye soundtrack, both of those soundtracks. Yeah, definitely inspired. Definitely the inspiration.
I love Harry Nilsson.
Another thing, Glory the Snow is inspired by the cover of Seabird by Innovations, which obviously the Alessi Brothers is iconic, but I have always preferred the Innovations.
Me too. There's something like I think there's just more on the Innovations. It's like, I'm not saying that more is more, but sometimes because obviously sometimes less is more, like truly, but there's something special. Also, I just have like a lot of good memories attached to that song, so it's probably, or that version of the song.
So I also wanted to touch on some of the themes. This album's called Charm. It's just about things that are charming and times that she has been charmed, and kind of thinking of those like fleeting moments, because oftentimes when you meet a stranger, you're going to be charmed by them, like when you're first meeting them, because like the more you get to know someone, obviously you can still find someone charming, but those initial moments of being charmed by someone happen like at like a first meeting, like you've never met before. Also love and relationships and isolation and wanting to be wanted and femininity, and it's all just beautiful. I hate like sophomore slump too, especially because like I hate it.
The sophomore slump. Always.
But like with Billie Eilish, with Penelope Scott, I'm just kidding. With Billie Eilish, it happened too. Her second album didn't do as well. Luckily, Claire didn't have to deal with a bunch of unnecessary controversy.
And also, I just like Alice Phoebe Lou. So it's exciting.
I'm really excited
that
she's
Alice Phoebe
opening
Lou will
up.
be opening.
Yeah, I had only heard, I think, like, a couple songs from you.
like
you
Halo.
two, maybe,
Halo.
like, just, like, in the passing.
But
But it's cool that she's doing, like, the whole thing. I, like, to be fair, this tour is not, like, super long for the North American. But, yeah,
She's
it's super
locked in.
exciting.
She's locked in that contract. I know everyone was probably like picking at their chair and like biting their nails
at their
and,
chair,
like, foaming at the mouth, waiting for our favorite Everything by her. So my favorite music. So obviously, I mentioned in the beginning, her releases on Bandcamp these past like I'm gonna say just a year. For Now is I love Lavender, but when For Now came out, I was like, oh my gosh, it's so good.
Just for now.
That was actually it. Yeah, it's actually definitely the version. Her vocals are like pitched up a little bit on that. Was that because there's a paywall or because it actually just like that?
I feel like in all her demos they are. I'm not really
It might
sure
be
why.
also a way to,
I
like,
know it's
for-
on TikTok
Yeah.
when she posted her demo for Juna.
It's, like, pitched
It was
up.
it
Maybe
sounded
they
more
copyrighted
pitched
it.
up.
Off Immunity, I think Sinking is my favorite, and off Sling, Bambi's my favorite, which is like, okay, yeah, it's the opener. Really good opener, and also a vivid memory of driving across bridge on a late afternoon in the summer, and it was playing really loud in the car, and the sun was like beaming in, and it was like kind of weirdly quiet like everywhere else except for just the song, and very special to me. And then off Charm, Terrapin is my favorite. I think like
she said that's her favorite, one of
Really?
her favorites. Yeah.
okay, so great minds think like. I'm kidding, but
For me, Immunity, I think my two favorites off of that are Sinking and North. This album I did not listen to nearly as much as I did Sling, and then I was like wanted to give it a chance because obviously it just has a lot of songs that are popular. I was surprised that Sinking wasn't as popular because I just think that one is one of my favorites off the whole album. Off of Sling, literally cannot say more about this album. The whole thing is so special, always means so much to me. But Harbor has to be like my all-time favorite song ever.
yeah, it's you as a song.
It's so good. I love when other people are like Harbor Supremacy because I'm like, yes, I agree. And other songs, Partridge and Reaper off the album, I think are really good. The live version of Partridge is so good. I would definitely recommend listening to the Electric Lady Studios recordings of those because you get the live feel. And then off of Charm, Slow Dance is my Harbor of this album. Yeah, the song is so good. Also Nomad, so good because she played that on like during the Sling tour. And also I've been really loving Glory of the Snow as I re-listen. So maybe it's because of the Seabird influence that I've just always been attached. But bird, fly home.
I, once again, as it always seems, I've listened to all of these albums. I've just only done it like once or twice. So, and the ones that stick out to me most seem to be the most popular. And I guess that's just how popular songs work. It's like they become popular for a reason because there's like that initial attraction to them. Bags and Softly. I like the live recordings of them too. I think they're pretty different. I enjoy listening to those more. I like Just for Today and Zinnias and Amoeba off of Sling.
Yeah, Just for Today is so gut-wrenching.
Yeah.
And Juna and Sexy to Someone and Slow Dance and
iconic.
Pier 4.
Yep, iconic.
Those.
Pier 4 is like the Just for Today of Charm, in my opinion. My picture. I mean, we all saw her performance of Juna. Hopefully, you guys did actually. And she was wearing this really cute outfit, and her makeup 8 boots. So I obviously had to draw. The makeup artist made a TikTok with her, and I had to draw a little still for her. Also, it was Jimmy Fallon, right? Because at the end of her performance,
Yeah,
he goes up
Jimmy
and asks her to sign it. It was literally just me, and he saw his chance, he had to take it, and honestly, I really appreciate that. In my head, he was getting it signed for himself. So
Maybe
that's gonna be my
was.
canon
Yes,
belief,
yeah.
and I you know what, that's true. That's just true
I like
for me.
Jimmy Fallon.